Walmart's been the leader in literally forcing American companies to close down and work with sweatshops overseas.
If I put on a Walmart shirt, I'd feel like it had blood all over it. It's the blood of those children who are sweating for, 2 or 3 cents an hour to produce it for me.
Maybe he's right. No one could possibly argue in favor of sweatshops. Everyone knows they're terrible, hot, cramped factories in Asia and Latin America where workers are paid little and not even given bathroom breaks.
One of the major misconceptions about Walmart is that it exploits third world workers by using sweatshop labor. But in fact, it's not the case. Walmart actually benefits those workers quite a bit by providing them with much better jobs than alternative employment in their home country.
You go to the private banking system and you say, well, can I get a private banking loan? Because I'm strapped for cash, I need some support, and I'm having trouble paying my overseas bills.
When the private banks won't lend to you, then you've got to do something if you're the leader of a country. And typically what you've got to do is to cut back your spending in some way and try and get more money so that the impact of those cutbacks are not as severe as they otherwise would be. And it's at that point that you generally come to the IMF.
What you really need is to sit down with them and say, look, can I work out a 5-year program? And in the meantime, I'm strapped for some cash, so can you help me up front get out of the cash bind and then put it in the context of a long-term development plan? And they say, no, long-term development is your problem. We are here only to see who do you owe the money to, why are you in a bind, and we'll lend you some money in a very short time frame at full interest rate to get you out of the bind. And they then impose upon you tremendous restrictions in what you can spend.
And then we reach agreement on the set of measures on the budget, on the exchange rate, on monetary policy, on interest rates, on banks, on maybe privatization, and say, yep, we think this could solve your problem.
And you say to them, but if I do it that way, when I finish repaying you, I'm going to be in the bind all over, because this can't solve my problem. This is not our problem.
And they're becoming more and more suspicious about the developed world telling them to act responsibly.
What has been going on with global warming, and we accept that we should cut our emission much more than you should, and in that process the rich countries should also transfer cleaner technology, and also more importantly they should invest more money in developing cleaner technology.
That world is long past. The new realities of political economy demand a different system. If developing countries are part of the solution, they also must be part of the conversation. The international system needs a World Bank group that represents the international economic realities of the 21st century, that recognizes the role and responsibility of growing stakeholders and provides a larger voice for Africa. We need a system of international political economy that reflects a new multipolarity of growth. It needs to integrate rising economic powers as responsible stakeholders, while recognizing that these countries are still home to hundreds of millions of poor and they face staggering challenges of development. It needs to engage the energies and support of developed countries whose publics carry a heavy burden of debt, competitive anxieties, and feel that the new powers must share responsibilities. It needs to offer a hand to the poorest and weakest countries, the 900 million people who still live without access to clean water, and the bottom billion trapped in poverty because of conflict and broken governance.